What it do? It's the Two Beards, One League podcast coming at you. Still is hard to roll off the tongue on that one. Joe, how are you doing, buddy?
Doing good. How about you, man?
I'm doing all right. Doing all right. We've both been super busy with work, so that's always been fun. But I still look forward to doing this every week with you. So, thanks for being here. I
Anytime.
guess Tuesdays become the new day. I don't know. Life's coming at us fast, so we'll just adjust as we go. So hopefully the league understands.
Well, we're adjusting to the new name too. Believe me, I've been having a hard time saying it the right, like I say it the other way, that where it's a pun from. So and
Yeah.
Chad's
You're like,
wait, what? Wait, what? I'm like, no, we're not using a cup.
No. Well, that, and then when I'm looking on my YouTube, I see our little picture and I'm like, oh wait, that's us. So
Yeah.
new for all of us, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, Joe, we're going to just jump right into it today. We have a lot to get to. A couple people in the league said they actually enjoyed the shorter podcast. So I don't think it'll be short, but I do enjoy that 30-minute, 40-minute mark. So let's jump into this. So news and updates. I don't have a ton of stuff to go over today, but there were some injuries this week. Again, I'm still trying to figure out how we want to play this. So I'm keeping it to just our league, but we can always discuss more if people are interested. So Nico Collins ended up getting concussion Monday night. Obviously, he's in concussion protocol, probably is going to miss, if we're being honest. Short week kind of sucks, right?
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson did not practice today, so I don't know what that means. They're coming off a bye. We'll have to kind of keep an eye on that. That could mean that the Ravens offense will continue to suck if he's not there, right?
Yeah.
Mike Evans most likely done for the season. Broke his clavicle, also hit his head, so he's got a concussion too. Right after coming back from the hamstring injury, kind of sucks. That means he's going to miss his 1,000-yard season.
Yeah, that's terrible because like he was on the verge of breaking the record. So
he has 11,000 yards.
Yeah, because if he would have got it this year, he would have broke Jerry Rice's record.
Damn, that sucks. That sucks so bad. Like I was really rooting for him to do it.
Yeah.
Darren Waller strained his pec, is considered week to week. Tight end's already been thin, so it kind of looks like whoever has Darren Waller's streaming tight end at this point.
Yep.
And then Jaden Daniels looks to be okay. So, I don't know what that means. What do you think that means for that offense and going forward?
I think it's something to keep a lookout for, just because it is a Monday night game. So I'm like, who knows what's going to happen.
Joe, I'm sorry to interrupt you. We have breaking news.
No worries.
We have a special guest coming to add on to our show today. Ryan has joined the podcast.
Hey, yo.
Hi, Ryan.
Another bearded dude, too.
3 beards, 1 league.
They haven't made that video yet, I don't think.
Yeah.
Hopefully one day.
Ryan, how are you doing, buddy?
Ryan?
Doing well. How are you guys? Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. I'm glad I could finally make it on. I've been enjoying the podcast every week, so I'm glad to hop on.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. It's nice to get another perspective in here and somebody who's at the top of the league. So, you're not talking to the two people who constantly suck. Ryan, how you feeling about your team so far? You are doing amazing, right?
I'm feeling pretty good. Yeah, it's like you guys have talked about the last couple of weeks, like you and I talked about kind of going into this, right? I know I took a little bit of a chance taking a couple players on suspension and whatnot. I kind of thought though, if I could kind of go into week 7 3-3, that I'd feel pretty good, I guess, and ended up, I 5-1 going into this last week when I got Rashee Rice back. Kind of texted you last week, because Joe and I both talked about not starting Jordan Addison whenever he came back from suspension.
Yep.
And that was, I think, a mistake in hindsight. And so I texted you, what do you think? Should I start him? And you said you drafted him to play him. And I'm glad I did end up starting him. I think fantasy is, in so many ways such a crapshoot, right? So kind of going and drafting players that I like and that I'd enjoy watching was kind of my theory on how to draft this year, and it's so far paid off. But I very well could be 2-5, right? Like that's the reality of fantasy.
No, I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah, because you did text me like, do I start him? And I've always been a big fan of like, you didn't draft that player to sit on your bench. Now they might suck that first week, but if they don't suck like Rashee Rice, you're going to be so mad that you didn't start him that week he came back.
Yep. Yeah, definitely.
All right, so I wanted to get into a few things today, because as I already mentioned, we have from first all the way down to last. I thought it'd be kind of fun to get into how are we feeling just about fantasy football in general, right? I have my own theory on how everybody's feeling, and Ryan kind of touched on his, but I wanted to start with Joe. Like, 1-6.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of sucks. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I'm sure you're not happy that you're 1-6. No. Nobody goes into fantasy thinking, man, I can't wait to lose. But how are you feeling? How are you feeling in general?
Fine. I mean, it is what it is. We have the unfortunate luck of not having productive running backs, and then I would say 50% of our team is injured.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, we have the injury bug clearly this year, and then just running backs aren't being productive. So I'm like, we have hope. We have a quarterback.
You went running back heavy too, so that kind of sucks.
Yeah. Even though our keeper case, that's what we wanted to do, because I know we had Brian Thomas Jr. as our keeper, so we figured, well, we'll be able to find a receiver, and then we'll load up on running backs, since usually that's an area where I'm not too fond of.
Yep.
I like to be consistent with our running backs. I know we took chances this year because Mike wanted to take some shots on some rookies, but I'm like, it is what it is. I mean, if he was here, he would probably have a different opinion on how we're feeling than I am, but I'm like, I try to be positive because it's like, I've been doing this for a long time, so I'm like, it happens.
Yeah. Ryan, how are you feeling? 5-2, pretty competitive in the league. Second highest points scored in the whole league, I believe, or maybe third, but you're up there. It's close. I think there's like a 10-point difference between you and first. So how you feeling?
Yeah, I feel pretty good. Yeah, I mean, like you said, I've also had a couple of good breaks, go my way. There's been a couple times I maybe didn't score the most points, and just happened to be playing an opponent that kind of was the case for as well. Got lucky against Mike and Joe. I think I beat him by like 0.2 or something one week, or whatever.
Like 0.12 or something like that.
Yeah. So a couple of lucky breaks for sure. But I feel good. I've been enjoying, kind of like we said. I was kind of driving myself a little crazy. With the number one pick this year too. It's like, oh god, like kind of overanalyzing everything. And I was like, let's just draft to have fun. And I've really enjoyed, doing that. And it's, some of my kind of theories have paid off maybe a little bit, I guess. But again, they're always theories, and they very well could not have. But I feel pretty good. I feel pretty happy with my team, and I hope the luck, continues, because I think a lot of it is luck. But keep it rolling as long as we can, baby.
Yeah, you actually hit on a few players that I was out on, and I'm just jealous that I was out of. J.K. Dobbins, I didn't think was going to do that much. Great late round pick. Obviously, you were all in. You're a Chiefs fan, but you were all in on the offense this year, and that looks like a great call. Patrick Mahomes looks like the old Patrick Mahomes. Travis Kelce just doing Travis Kelce things. You also had David Njoku, who didn't do fantastic, but did all right. Just overall, Kyron Williams, Michael Pittman, you seem to hit on those later round picks, which is kind of what's paying off for you.
Yeah, definitely. No, I agree. And I think that, with the Chiefs offense, it's kind of my theory there. Obviously, I am a homer, of course. But, Pat's had kind of, our offense and Pat have had two really down seasons. And I just thought that the odds of him having, in our offense, having a third, consecutive year of not being very productive was more unlikely than the opposite. And so I kind of figured, and then taking Travis, I think this is his last year. And he's my favorite player of all time. He's, who I've really grown up watching a lot. Yeah. I took him in all my leagues. Took him higher than I should have in all my leagues, but I took him in every single one of my leagues. I was like, if this is his last year, he's going to be on every single one of my teams, because I'm going to be sad if he retires and I didn't take him. And it's paid off, right? That was a heart pick, but it's paid off pretty well.
Yeah.
I mean, it's paying off, and it's a player that you love, and like you were saying, one of your favorite players. I'm like, it's the same with all of us. We have that one special player that we just want to have regardless of the situation.
Right. Yeah, definitely.
So I can speak for, I've been on the opposite side of both of you, right? I started out really strong, 3-1. Team looked amazing. I loved it. JJ at one point said I was going to win the league when I made that trade for Lamar Jackson. And now I'm on a 3-game losing streak. So started off strong, loved it, right? Loved watching football, loved everything about football. these last 3 weeks, the Dolphins have looked miserable. So watching football has become miserable. And then I just watched my team the last 3 weeks for a combined 290 points. My team has put up in 3 weeks 290 points. I haven't even scored 100 points a week. Both of you guys, well, I can't, not Mike and Joe, but Ryan, his team the last 2 weeks has outscored my team in 3 weeks. It has become a point where I was like, I don't know if I like football right now. So after the Dolphins got just manhandled Sunday and it looked so bleak for my fantasy team, I stopped watching football and just went and played video games. So you know what? We can be on both sides of the fence where, hey, I love football and I don't like football. Because at least when the Dolphins usually suck, I'm really good at fantasy, and that's not the case this year. So you know what?
But yeah.
We do, which is that's a different segment.
Yeah.
But I think it's important to talk about, right? Like I still enjoy coming out here and doing this podcast, even though right now has not been fun. And I hope that everybody else still enjoys this, even the teams near the bottom. Like, hey, I get it. It sucks. Maybe we can all make some trades to make everybody a little more competitive. I mean, I'm willing to. I know Mike and Joe are. I know Ryan is. Just keep being active, and that's all I can ask for. Like, set your lineups, hit your waiver wires, do all that other fun stuff. So,
how do you kind of start analyzing your team? Like, at what point do you go, okay, maybe it's no longer a streak of bad luck, and I need to start making changes here or here? Is it player, kind of based off of specific players that have been down, or do you assess certain positions first? How do you guys go about that? I guess being something that's like newer to fantasy, right?
From my perspective, it's kind of, well, Joe's probably in the same boat here. We've dealt with a lot of injuries, which have, unfortunately, we don't have the depth behind our teams, right? Like Sarah is a good example of, she lost her first round pick and has still been doing pretty well because her draft overall was good. Where Joe and I drafted okay, but maybe our depth picks didn't hit, right? And the one depth pick I did hit on, I ended up trading. So, it's sometimes you just didn't hit on enough late round picks. And this waiver wire season has been very lackluster.
Yeah.
Right. There hasn't really been that guy except for Rico Dowdle for 2 weeks that came off the waivers and has dominated. I don't know if you feel any different, Joe.
No, I would 100% agree from like my perspective. Mine's similar to Steven's, but I would go base it off of like right now my team, Ryan. I would base it off position.
Yeah.
Because injuries always play a factor into everything. But for me, like right now, to improve our team, I would look at it from a positional standpoint, like what's working, what isn't. Like right now, our running backs are not the greatest, so I would probably look to upgrade that position or whatever position that you thought was going to be strong, but you're actually weak at. So
yeah, that makes sense. It's tough, right?
Yeah, because for me, like Ken Walker and Zach Charbonnet are eating each other alive, right? So I thought Ken Walker would be the main guy, and I don't know who to start. I really don't want to start either of them. So
yeah. You didn't start Stafford this week, did you? I think I looked.
No, I dropped him. That streak continues where if I drop the quarterback, just pick him up because they will have a huge next week.
Damn.
We did.
And Drake May had a big week. Bo Nix went off for 30 after I traded him to Brandon. Justin Fields, the week he came back, because he did get a concussion the week I had him. The week he came back, went off for 28, and JJ had him. This last week, 2 weeks ago, I started Matthew Stafford. This week I drop him. He goes off for 40. So I had Caleb Williams. I started him this week. I am going to probably drop him. He should go off for 50. I mean,
you should keep him. You should follow. Just keep him.
No. At this point, it's become a meme. I'm going to continue to lean into the meme. I don't want my quarterback scoring 12. It's unacceptable for my quarterbacks to ever score 12 points when I start them.
He wants 9 points.
You should get a reward.
4, 5, and 11, I think, the last 3 weeks. So, like, it whatever. Quarterbacks get 12 points for touchdowns, and my quarterbacks are not throwing touchdowns. So, it's a crazy. All right.
Pretty bad.
Getting back into the next one. So, we're just going to continue this one. It's the Beat Steve. This is the text JJ sent, right? Set in the chat. I am now just continually creating memes about me getting beat. But I did throw you two into it this week. So there's going to be 3 coming up. You guys have already seen them, but I think it'd be fun for the league to see. So I'm going to start here with the one that, Jacob beat me, right? So let's start. It's Beat Steve, right? Is he okay? Yeah, he just played Jonathan Taylor this week. Now, if we're being honest, it could be he just started any quarterback on his roster, but I thought this was the best way to go. Yeah. So, thank God for ChatGPT because I have great ideas. I don't know how to execute them. I'm glad it can for me. All right. So the next one is for Mike and Joe. Now, this one's a little bit of an inside joke here. We do play video games together a lot. I just thought it would be fun to have 1 and 6. And then Joe, who always says after we lose any game or win, actually, I think it just comes out of his mouth is GG no heels.
They don't play in support.
Yeah. GG no heels. It's just, it doesn't matter. It's coming out of Joe's mouth. You guys moved to 1 and 6. I made sure that was on the screen. I thought it was just a fun little kind of a little poke at you guys.
Yeah.
And then the last one is for Ryan. This one I created last minute. I literally created, I think, 20 or 30 minutes before. Because this feels so accurate. Even though you lost last week, it feels like you're just completing your you're getting that last stone in Rashee Rice, and just kind of scary, right? So
yeah.
Fun though. It's just fun. I'm just doing it for that reason and that reason only. I'm gonna keep poking fun at myself or you guys or whatever, at the whole league if I have to. Just for fun. And I hope everybody enjoys it.
Yeah. I mean, next week you can just put a bunch of IR people for us since, yeah.
Well, the original idea I had is the Homer meme, or not I forget the exact meme, but the one where he's poking him with the stick and he's like, is he dead?
Oh,
they wouldn't let you do that one. The ChatGPT doesn't allow violence. So that's how I felt though. I was like, is he dead? Yeah. All right. So the next thing is, and you guys kind of got a taste of this, is new team name Tuesday. I'm literally doing this one just for Brandon because he needs to change his damn name. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of losing because his name is Lamar Zard. I've decided today will be a nice one, but going forward, every week his name does not change. It's going to just get more and more vulgar and just derogatory towards him. So this week, super nice. Gave him an actual, I gave him an image, right? Like it's a Meccan Zabuka. It's got a nice little picture. You can put it on his profile. I think it's fantastic. If it continues, they're just going to get worse. And it's eventually just going to be like, I hate dogs or something. I don't know what it'll be, but that's where my brain's at. So Brandon, if you're watching this right now, just know that this is the nicest it's going to be. But next week, it's just going to be like, suck my nicks.
Can I make fun of the Chiefs? He's a Chiefs fan.
Yeah. Something like that. Or I might have to name him, Knicks is Mahomes biatch. Something along those lines, just to keep poking fun at him. And then if he doesn't change it by week 14, I am just going to change his name and then lock his team.
Damn. All right.
Like, I don't care. This is your new team name. He could even change it back to Freifogel Allen. I'd be okay with it, but change it. All right.
He wants the curse to stop.
I do. I just want to have a competitive season. End it. End my misery, please. All right. Week 7 recap. Get into it. There's not much to say. Jacob just manhandled me. I scored the least amount of points, and Jacob said, you suck. And I agree. Nothing to talk about there. Sorry. Next was a crazy one. So I was going to let Ryan talk about this one because it was Aaron pulling off the Monday Night Miracle, beat Ryan. It was a close one. If I remember correctly, I think you were up by almost 20 going into the game, and all he had was JSN.
Yep.
And he ended up beating you by 10, right? So
Yep.
Yeah, I was sitting there, and I don't think he had if I'm not mistaken, I don't think he had a catch in the first quarter. So of course the odds start shifting again, right? And I was like, please, right? Like 20 points. I'm like, this is so doable. This is so doable. And then of course, touchdown. And I'm like, all right, here we go. I'm just like, all right, this is this. I have like a good 168 points. That's pretty good. Rasheed came back, had a great game. When they pulled Pat out in the third quarter, though, I was like, all right, I understand from a Chiefs perspective, right? But
Yeah.
from a fantasy perspective, I'm like, no, please let him get
That's
at least
always
one more
worse.
touchdown. Yeah, just
like it's
something,
the third
please.
quarter. Just go
I'm
to
like,
the fourth.
I'm like, this is gonna come back and bite me in the ass for sure. Get it to Kelsey or to Rasheed. I don't care who. And then I mean, then it just started flipping. And then at some point, it was like, you just got to tip your hat. You score 168 points and get beat. That's just, the other
You were
team
the
just went
third
off,
highest
right?
scoring team this week, and he was the second. So
Yeah, for sure. And like we were talking about, before we started, if I play, everyone other than those two other teams, I win this week, pretty well. So sometimes that's just the way it bounces, right? It's bounced the other way for me too, for sure. Sorry, Joe. So that's just sometimes what happens.
Yep. Next was Sarah pulled off a Monday night victory against JJ. So this was a crazy one. I know you guys didn't get to, you probably weren't paying too much attention to it. Here comes Sarah. So I know you guys probably weren't.
4 and 3. Yeah. 4 and 3. Woo!
You guys probably weren't paying too much attention to it. Going into this game, JJ had a pretty sizable lead. I honestly didn't think Sarah was going to win. I think he had like a 35 point lead. And all Sarah had left was Jahmyr Gibbs. And Jahmyr Gibbs went off for 36.8. So
my boy.
Closest victory of the week. Sarah won by 1.3 points. My favorite thing was at the end of the game, she's sitting there going, don't give Jahmyr Gibbs the ball, because if he fumbles, I'm going to be sad and I'll lose. And obviously it was just David Montgomery running out the clock, but it's the other side of fantasy, right? Where you were watching Monday night, like, oh no, I'm going to lose. She was sitting there going, go Jahmyr, go.
And then Steven goes to give me a high five. I'm like, no, I can't give you a high five yet. The game's not over. He could drop the ball. I could still lose.
That's so funny.
So overall, fun. It was a fun one. We talked about it last week, Joe. I was watching last week's episode again, and we said we both picked her to win because JJ had that, just a bunch of people on bye. JJ's on the other side of it. We all think his team's amazing, but he is technically tied for fourth. So
heck yeah, he is. 4 and 3.
How come you're so excited when you say 4 and 3, but he's 4 and 3?
Because JJ was talking all kinds of doo-doo. Yeah, JJ, you hear this? You're talking doo-doo.
Well, so that was a good one. This is our token Sarah appearance.
Because I got to talk about my team.
Yeah, she will.
I even had my tight end get hurt and get 0. He couldn't even get me a point before he got hurt. Like, how selfish.
How selfish. Doesn't he know?
One point.
That's okay. You still pulled out the victory. I'm gonna use my other tight end. Yeah, well, your tight end's out for a little bit, so.
Well, I got another one, don't worry.
All right, next is it says Lamar Azard, but we already decided it's Emekins Ibuka. So Brandon beats Terrence. Both go to 2 and 5. Brandon was the highest scoring team this week, 184.66. Terrence scored 120. Interesting week overall. Brandon's team performed amazingly. Hasn't done that all season, so kind of crazy.
He was super excited about it. He texted me.
Yeah, it does help that Bo Nix scored 44 points.
Yeah. He mentioned that in his text too, with some vulgar language.
Yeah, and then Bijan, Trey McBride, and DeAndre Swift all scored over 20. I am super impressed with that. You know, it went well for him. He didn't even start Emeka Ibuka. You know, maybe his team's on the swing up.
Yeah.
I don't know if Bo Nix scores 44 every week, but you know, could happen.
Right.
Yeah. So
I mean, if they want to come back from 18 down each time, or what was it, 30? It was 18 or 30 down or something like that.
Yeah, it was. I think it was.
Quite a
It
bit.
was 30 down. I think they scored 33 points in the fourth quarter. So
33 points in the fourth quarter, but
I think it was 23-0, and then
yeah,
and then it was like 30-7. You know, like back and forth, kind of like that. Again, I started playing video games on Sunday because I was like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Fair enough.
Last but not least, Mike and Joe 114.58 to Robert's 122.22. So Robert did catch a little bit of a break, would have lost to almost every other team except for me and I think you guys this week.
Yep.
You know, go ahead and talk about it.
Yeah, actually, at one point we were actually up by 12 going into the 5 o'clock game because I was at my son's flag football game. And like right at the end, Mike had texted me. He's like, "Hey," he's like, "We're up." And I was like, "Oh," I was like, "I didn't even realize." And I looked at it because Rashad White only had 5 points. So I was like, and we hadn't actually started. We didn't have a defensive back in our lineup because we weren't going to pick one up because I told him, I was like, "There's no point." But we were up by 12, and I was like, "Well, should we pick one up on the off chance that, you know, for some reason, if Darnold doesn't, you know, produce and it's super close, I'm like, we'll at least have a few points from a defensive back because Amon-Ra was going off at that point." So we made the move. We were still up, and then when the Seahawks game started, it was over. So, but hey, it's the risk you take.
Yeah, no, you gave yourself a shot though. If you don't have those 5.5 points, you get blown out, right? Like
Totally,
I love that you still made a move to try to win, right? Like so I don't blame you. I would have done the same thing. Like I want to try to get that victory.
I ain't no quitter.
Ain't no quitter. All right, so moving our records on the season, we both went 3-2 last week, Joe.
You did copy me, but yeah.
We did not copy each other, actually. We copied the first 3 picks, and we both went 2-1. Our only wrong pick was we both picked Ryan. And damn it, Ryan.
Did I pick Ryan?
Yeah.
You guys both did.
It was the kiss of death. The difference was you picked Brandon to win. I did not. And I picked Robert to beat you guys, and you picked yourself. So
yeah.
That was where we ended up going.
This is my formal petition to just pick against me every week, you guys. If you guys could just pick whoever I'm playing, just pick them.
Well, I was doing that for the first few weeks after you had beaten us, but I don't know what changed. Wait, because you lost the game because I was rooting for you to win the entire time because you were like dominating people and then you lost, and I was like,
JJ.
Not gonna pick to JJ. That's right. And then I wasn't gonna pick you, and then I think I got conned into picking you. I can't remember. I'm just making it up as I go.
Yeah. All I know is if that's all that it takes is I would be winning a lot more games because I picked JJ to win and he beat me, and I picked Jacob to win and he beat me. So like,
fair enough.
I don't think it's a reverse curse, but you know, whatever.
Yeah.
All right. So I would still love to get your predictions in here, Ryan. I am going to keep a little, guests predictions just like they do on CBS and all those other fun ones. Not for anything else than, for fun. Obviously there's going to be a difference, but we can look at winning percentage if we need to, or something, if enough other people come on. Okay. So starting off this week, Joe, do you want me to lead or do you want to lead?
You can lead this time.
Okay. I did take over last time halfway through. So
you did.
Then you just started picking against me and it didn't even matter because we were both half right, half wrong. So this week we'll start with it. I am going up against Aaron. Aaron's team has been dominant. Scary dominant. I am catching him at a great time though. JSN's on bye. Devontae Adams is on bye. Travis Etienne is on bye. So he's probably starting Dak against Denver, or he's going to start Daniel Jones versus Tennessee. I hope I have Lamar Jackson coming back. Nico Collins might be out, which will hurt if that's the case. Then I will have to figure out another receiver, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. I think this is the week I'm picking myself for once. Yeah, I'm going to go with myself.
Okay.
Joe? Who are you picking?
I'm going with Aaron this week.
Yeah, that's probably the right call. Aaron's probably going to win, but I'm
It
picking
is
myself.
It is because if Lamar Jackson comes back, I still think you lose. And I honestly, I just want you to pick up another quarterback for this week anyway, just so we can see.
I'm done. Not picking up another quarterback. It's not happening. Okay.
No, but in seriousness, though, I think like if Nico Collins doesn't go, that's gonna hurt.
Oh yeah.
And then you have other players that are on bye too. I know Aaron has JSN, and actually I just see that he has Devontae Adams on bye too, so that's going to be tough. But I like I like Scatterboo, I like Diggs, I like the Lamb matchup.
That was the reason I picked against him is Patrick Surtain and Denver's defense.
True, that's fair. So, but yeah, I think it'll be close between you guys anyway. So, but I'm gonna go with him this week.
Fair enough. Brian.
So I came in and drafted based off of pure gut, no analytics. So I'm doing the same thing for my picks.
Okay.
I'm going with Steven. A little bit of analysis though. 3-week lose streak. I don't think you win 4 weeks in a row. I don't think you lose 4 weeks in a row.
I hope not, because God, I really would like to like fantasy again. All right. So next is Jacob versus Mike and Joe. I'll go ahead and start us off. I'm just picking Jacob because Mike and Joe's whole team's on bye and injured. So yeah.
So you're not
That's
giving
my
us a
analysis.
Okay.
Dude, you are missing Brian Thomas Jr., Amon Ross St. Brown, Ashton Genty. You also are probably going to be missing Ricky Pearsall, who's most likely not going to play, and Terry McLaurin. So I'm not sure who you're going to start.
Drake May. Duh.
And I don't even know who your second running back will be at this point. Probably Ja'Cory Cross-Merritt. Like, it's not good. Your team you're in bye week hell, and you're also injury hell. Like, IR? It is a bad combo for you guys this week. But go ahead. I'm picking Jacob.
You're picking Jacob?
I'm picking Jacob.
I'm picking Jacob too, and not because of our injuries and stuff. I'm picking Jacob because every time we face Jacob, we get the crap kicked out of us. It doesn't matter. He is our kryptonite in this league, so it doesn't matter if we could be undefeated and we would get our first loss this week. So I'm like, we can never beat Jacob. It's just a thing in this league. So
there you go.
Well, this is the week that changes. I'm taking Mike and Joe.
I appreciate that, Ryan.
I gotta go. Same thing. 3-week lose streak. I think that it's broken this week. You guys take the win.
I'm glad you believe in us, because I don't. Every time it's with Jacob, I don't. I'm like, believe me. I told Steven when last year, I was like, as long as Jacob's on the other side of the playoff bracket, we're fine. We'll win the entire thing. And surely enough, he was in the other side of the bracket, so we were good.
That's so
and
funny.
He got bumped out.
That's funny.
Here's a fun one. So Ryan versus Sarah.
Yeah.
I will go ahead and start. There's no good way to do this one because I'm going to hurt somebody's feelings here.
No.
I am going to pick Ryan to reverse jinx him first off.
Yeah, no, fix it.
What?
It's a reverse jinx.
Rude.
In all honesty,
right here.
So is Ryan.
Ryan, go to the bathroom or something.
Ryan has nobody on bye except for Kyron. Sarah is missing her best piece in Jahmyr Gibbs. She also lost Darren Waller.
I got another tight end.
Plus Jalen Waddle did take a pretty big hit. I don't know if he'll go. It could go the other way, but I do pick Ryan this week. Joe?
Sarah's getting smashed this week. Ryan's got Patrick Mahomes. He's got Jamar Chase. He's got Addison. He's got Dobbins, Kelsey.
Oh, you're talking about
Shit,
fantasy.
Ryan.
I got confused. I was like, yeah, Sarah is getting smashed this week.
Whoa! What?
Listen, you don't want to go there with me because I try to, Steven, I try to keep it in here. I'm like,
I know, but sometimes you gotta say, like, we're 35 minutes in. It's fine at this point.
okay, but yeah, no, it's like
Everyone's listening.
Sarah is missing her best player, so that's tough.
Yeah.
But and Ryan doesn't have anybody on bye, so I'm like, and I'm looking at the matchups, and I'm like,
Well, I hope, Ryan, that Patrick Mahomes gets ingrown toenail.
that's
That's
polite.
so terrible.
I wasn't sure
That's
where
so
you were going with that.
I know. I was like, where is she going with this one?
Or like ingrown hair or something.
All right. No, Ryan, are you picking yourself or are you going to reverse it and go with Sarah?
I'm gonna talk about it.
I actually am going to pick Sarah.
No,
I
you're
think
not.
that
You're just
Washington
doing
comes
it.
out and has a good game plan for us.
Yes,
I think the
yes.
Chiefs win the game, but I don't think that the offense has as many points as we've seen in the last few weeks.
He's just trying to reverse his jinx here. He's like,
Mhm.
oh, those two picked me. I'm going to reverse it.
Got to figure.
All
I got to increase my win percentage.
There you go. All right. Next is Robert versus Terrence. This is a hard one. Robert's whole team, he's very, very Detroit heavy. So Jared Goff's on by, Sam Laporta's on by. Also, Cooper Kupp is on by, Jared Verse is on by, Kirby Joseph's on by. So he's already got his defensive players in. He doesn't have a quarterback. Maybe he'll pick up Caleb Williams. That's probably the play because I'm going to drop him.
You're talking about Terrence, right? You said Robert.
Yeah, Terrence. On the other side, Robert is really just dealing with Marvin Harrison Jr. on by. I'm going to go ahead and just take Robert here. He's got better matchups. He's got Josh Allen against Carolina coming back. Drake London versus the putrid Miami defense. Roma Dunze. It's just great matchups on his side. And he's starting Booty. So,
Who doesn't want to start Booty?
yep. So I'm going to go ahead and take Robert. Joe.
Oh, I'm taking Robert because of Booty.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's in our name. We just don't have Booty.
I know you didn't spend enough fab on.
We didn't have the room for him, to be quite honest, because
You could
we'd
always
have to
say
drop
that too.
someone, and we
Mhm.
like our players that are injured, even though they're injured. So, but yeah, I think matchup wise, Robert has a lot of great matchups. He's only missing my favorite player, and like everyone else, he's all set.
Maserati
Like
Marv.
he's been killing it with the double tight end with Warren and Ferguson.
Yeah.
So, and then Saquon hasn't been doing that great. I'm like, your team's trash, unfortunately, Steven. So I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen.
My team is trash. You're 100% right.
So I said it.
Ryan, you're up.
All right, I'm not splitting this time. I'm also going Robert. I agree on the matchups. I think he's poised to have a lot of really good.
I mean, Robert's
shots
like
this week.
68% projected to win. Now, granted,
That's
Terrence
not
doesn't
100.
have a quarterback in, but
He'll put one in.
the quarterbacks that he has that are available for him to pick up, unless he picks up Caleb Williams, probably isn't that amazing.
You don't know.
It's a higher percentage for our win percentage.
Last but not least is Emeka Nzabuka versus Power Rangers. So JJ versus
Dang
Brandon.
it.
It took me a second. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm not calling him
With the new
anything
name,
else.
The new name. Yeah,
I'm
sorry.
only calling
Carry
him
on.
the new name going forward. And then next week, if he doesn't change his name, it's just going to be worse. Maybe we'll start calling him Trump lover or something like that, because I know that'll get to him.
How about smell these nuts? Gross. Why did you say that? That's not what you should say.
Okay.
Remember
Jaden
when
Daniels, we had the announcement that he's
remember
gonna
when
be
Des Bryant used to play? That would have been a cool name. Smell Des nuts.
or how about smell D's nuts, like CD Lamb?
I had that
do
as a
that
name.
too.
CD's nuts.
That's gross.
Yeah, CD's nuts, yeah.
Mm.
Okay, so JJ is out. Brock Bowers, because he's on bye. Travis Hunter's on bye. Other than that, his team looks pretty much good to go. Debo's should be back, and Jaden Daniels should be back. It's hard to tell because JJ doesn't set his lineup at all.
I mean, half of it's empty. Yes,
I know. It's like, Bijan going against the Dolphins is probably going to end up with 40 points. I don't know. JJ might lose again. I think I'm going to go Brandon here, which is not what I was expecting to say, but Brandon has some amazing matchups, and I could see him pulling this out. So I'm going to say Brandon.
Okay.
Nice.
Joe.
Let's see. I'm looking at it. Brandon, the only player that looks like that Brandon doesn't have outside of his love for Buda Baker is Trey McBride.
And he doesn't have a Mecca in.
And he doesn't have a Mecca in either. So, yeah, he's got some really good matchups actually compared to JJ. Yeah, we'll go with Brandon this week. Why not?
Oh, surprise. Okay.
Honestly, I'm doing it so he doesn't change his name because I think if he keeps winning, he's going to realize I don't need to change my name. Screw Steven. So
until I lock his team week 14 and then he can't play and he misses the playoffs. We all know I would never do
well,
that.
if he misses
I'm
the
going
playoffs,
to
why
threaten
would you
him.
need to? Well, I mean, yeah.
All right, Ryan, you're up.
All right, I'm taking JJ based off of my prior logic of I think his team's too good to lose 3 in a row.
I like the theory. The theory. All right, that is it for our show this week. We'll see you guys all next week after week 8. Ryan, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for joining, man.
Joe, as always, can't wait to see you next week. Good luck to everyone this week, except for Aaron. We will see you guys all next week. Peace.